Hello and welcome to Super Great Kids Stories, wise tales from storytellers around the world, which will make you laugh and sometimes cry. Recommended for ages 5 to 105. I'm Kim and I love stories. Hello, Super Great Kids. Happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating. I hope you enjoy your pumpkin pie. You know, we don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, but I'm very excited because in just over a week, we get to see some of you at our Christmas show in London with Tuup, Kate Corkery and me. You can tap along with Tuup as he tells his version of the popular fairy tale Stick Woman. You can sing along with me telling the Haitian fairy tale The Magic Orange Tree. And you can listen entranced as Kate shares a magical traveller tale set on Christmas Eve. Do come along if you can. We're looking forward to saying hello to you after the show. That's Saturday, December the 7th at the Irish Cultural Centre in Hammersmith. Tickets are available at www.irishculturalcentre.co.uk. Or you can click the link on our website at supergreatkidstories.com. Go to the news section. Tickets are selling fast, particularly for the 4 o'clock show, so do buy them soon if you're thinking of coming. See you there! Now, this week we're in for a bit of a treat because Tuup is going to tell a First Nations story from the Cree people who originally came from the forests of eastern Canada. It's a story about a girl who isn't very well and a fox who can help to make her better. It's a little bit mysterious and it has a happy ending. Just before we start the story, I have a word challenge for you. Today's story is set in Canada during a snowy winter. Can you think of any words which fit with winter and cold weather? See if you can think of 5 or maybe even 10. Here's 2 words to get you started. Frost and mittens. While we have a quick word with the grown-ups. Ready to think of some words? Off you go. Hello, Super Great Kids, I'm back. How many words did you think of? I just tried it and I thought of about 10. I wonder if you got any of the same words as me. Frost, blizzard, snowflake, frozen, ice, wind, snowmen, sledges, skis, sleet, furs, boots and snowballs. I think that might even be more than 10. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got 5 or more. But right now, it's time to venture out into the snow with Tuup. Are you somewhere warm? And are you sitting comfortably? Am I sitting comfortably? Then let the story come drifting across the snow.
Super Great Kids Stories. How you doing? How you doing? How are you doing? This is Tuup with another choice story for you and you and you and you and you and yeah, for all of you, of course. Here's a sweet story from the tippy-top part of the world. You know, that place where it's a bit cold and the snow falls down from the sky and the trees stand very tall. There's a story that tells of a young girl. She's not too well, and her father is very worried about her. The father decides to go and speak to the medicine man. The medicine man is the doctor of the village. He knows all the shrub, the bark, the berry, the fungi. He knows how to make a potion and a lotion to cure those with ills. The girl's father knocks upon the door of the medicine man. The medicine man opens the door, and there he sees the man before him who says, "Medicine man, can you help my daughter? She has the fever and she is very ill. Medicine man, please, please." And the medicine man, he puts on his thick fur coat and makes his way across the snow towards the man's home. He opens the door, and there he sees a girl lying down upon a bed. She is covered with pelts and pelts of fur, which is like a quilt, really. She shakes and she shivers. The girl's father says to the medicine man, "Please, what can you do with her?" The medicine man, he says, "Stoke the fire, keep the place warm, peel back the pelts, and allow me to listen to her chest." They peel back the quilts, and the girl, she lies there upon the bed. The medicine man, he places his ear upon her chest and listens. The rasping of her breath. He listens again. The girl's father says, "Medicine man, surely you can do something to help my daughter." The medicine man listens, and then he says, "Out there in the snow, there is a vixen." Do you know what a vixen is? Yes, a vixen is a she-fox. The medicine man says to the father, "If you can find the she-fox and bring that she-fox back home where we are, maybe we can save your daughter. Now, make yourself ready. Put on your snowshoes, put on your thick coat, and make yourself ready." The girl's father, he does this, and don't forget my story is a long time ago, so the snowshoes, if you can imagine, are like tennis rackets. They're able to spread the weight across the snow when you walk. The girl's father, he puts the snowshoes on, the thick coat, puts upon his head a nice, big, warm hat. And the medicine man says, "Take this leather bag. In there is some dry meat. If you come upon the vixen, the she-fox, she will be frightened. To win over her trust, give her pieces of the dry meat, and she will come to you. Bring her back home, and maybe we can save your daughter." The girl's father is fully dressed, and now he makes his way out in the blizzard of the snow. The girl's father's made his way out into the blizzard, biting cold of the snow, which falls heavy all around him, and before you know it, he is covered from head to foot in snow, but he trudges on. Through the snow. Meanwhile, within the cabin, the medicine man listens to the girl's chest. The vixen, the she-fox, knows your father is on his way. Bring some scented wood, sage, birch, elder. Throw it into the fire. All will be well. in the snow, her father braves the weather. The father, he sees before him some pitted holes in the snow, and he kneels down, placing a finger just to see whether the holes have iced over or whether they have been freshly made. These holes tell him that an animal has walked this way. The holes are fresh, and the father knows that he is not far behind that vixen and continues his search. Meanwhile, the young girl, she begins to shiver, she begins to shake, she begins to shake, she begins to shiver. The medicine man calls the elder women of the village. Bring more wood for the fire. Bring more wood for the fire. The girl, she shakes and she shakes again. Oh, he says, do not worry. He wipes away the sweat. He says, bring some more cedar. Bring some more elm. Throw it upon the fire. So the home begins to fill with smoke. And before you know it, the girl, she eases down. Now she is calm, laying upon the bed. Out in the snow, her father is there. He sees before him the vixen. Behind her, there is a wall of stone, and she cannot go any further. There behind her is a tall mountain. She is cornered. She does not know which way to run. The father, seeing the vixen, begins to speak encouragingly. Hem, my love, I do not cause you any harm. Come, I have something for you. The father can see that the vixen, she is very, very skinny. She's lost so much weight. The vixen hasn't eaten anything for such a long time. The father remembers the medicine man gave him a leather pouch. Inside there is parcels of meat. He puts his hands inside of that pouch and he pulls out a nugget of meat. He throws it down towards the vixen, and she, step forwards, gobbles it up in a second. Ah, says the father, I have more for you. I have lots more for you to eat. Do not worry. Now, some of you who listen to this story, you must know that foxes do not like the smell of humans. And this fox was just the same, very cautious, and did not want to step forward towards the man. But he encouragingly threw more pieces of meat towards the vixen fox, who came forward and edged forward and edged forward until, for want of hunger, she now was before the man. Ah, he said, I mean you no harm. Do not worry. He picked her up and he cuddled her like carrying a baby in his arms. He turned and made his way back through the blizzard biting cold. Meanwhile, there was a medicine man. He was listening to the girl's chest. Ah, he says, your father, he has found the vixen, and he returns. All shall be well. All shall be well. Within the passing of time, the door is opened. The blizzard-biting cold rushes in through the open door until it is shut. He puts down the vixen, and the vixen, smelling the group of humans all around, runs into the corner and cowers down. Ah, do not worry, says the medicine man, all shall be well. Bring some milk, mix with honey, and feed the vixen. The milk is brought, and that vixen begins a lapping. What a sight! That vixen begins a-lapping at the milk with the honey and then curls up and falls asleep. One day has passed. A new day comes again. Oh, says the medicine man, give the vixen some eggs. And they break some eggs and they put it into a bowl and the vixen, oh, she laps it up. And another day has passed. And on the third day, the medicine man says, bring some chunks of meat and feed the vixen. And she begins to eat and gnaw and gobble at the pieces of meat. And before you know it, the evening of the third day, the medicine man says, I think the vixen is healthy and well. Open the door and allow her to leave, which is done. The storm has died down, the snow no longer falls, and the door is open, and the vixen, she now makes her way towards the exit. And the vixen now, she is standing on the threshold between outside and inside, and the vixen now turns towards the medicine man. The vixen turns towards the girl's father. The vixen turns and looks at the girl and then runs away, gone, disappearing into the woods. At that very precise moment, the young girl, she opens her eyes and she looks at the medicine man. And the medicine man says, come, your daughter is well. And the daughter, she looks at her father, and the father, he hugs his daughter. Oh, my love, you have returned to me. And his daughter says, Father, I had a strange dream. I dreamt that I was lost, but you found me. I dreamt that I was hungry and that you fed me. Father, I felt that I was cold, but you kept me warm. The father looked at the medicine man, and the medicine man looked at the father and said, Now, you tell me, who do you think saved your little girl? Do you think it was I, or do you think it was the fox? Which one, dear listener, do you think cured the young girl?
Oh, thanks very much to Tuup for sharing that story with us. Tell me, do you think it was the fox which cured the young girl? Or was it the dad? Or even the medicine man? Or all three of them together? I like the idea that there was some kind of connection between the she-fox and the young girl. If you like stories by Tuup and you live near London, do come and meet him at our live show in Hammersmith next Saturday. And now, it's time to spread our wings and fly around the world with Story Owl to say hello to some new owlets who've hopped into our nest and joined our club. First, let's say hello to Frankie from Owings in Maryland in the US, who will be 8 at the end of November. His favourite story is The Luck Child. He enjoys listening to the storytellers' different accents from around the world. His mum says it feels as if Frankie and his mum have travelled to another land. Your mum wants you to know, Frankie, that of all the things there are to be grateful for, she's the most grateful for you. Oh, what a lovely Thanksgiving message. And let's fly across the Atlantic next to Girona in Spain to say hello to owlets Mia and Joanna, who are 8 and 7. They love listening to Super Great Kids stories, especially in the car when they go on long trips. One of Mia's favourite stories is Mama Draga. She's drawn an atmospheric picture of Mama Draga and Rosetta in the bottom of the well. I like the hat you've given Mama Draga. And Joanna loves all the Baba Yaga stories, and she's drawn a splendid picture of Baba Yaga standing in the doorway of her house on chicken legs, with crows roosting on the roof and a fence of skulls surrounding it. Thank you, you're both very good artists. Hello next to 5-year-old Tommy from Dublin in Ireland. His favourite thing to do is join in the clapping at the beginning of the podcast. His favourite story is Coyote and Baby Turtle because he thinks it's funny. Lovely, Tommy. Let's spread our wings now and fly back across the Atlantic to say hello to owlets Lila, who is 8, and Amelia, who is 6 in Los Angeles. Lila's favourite stories are the How and Why stories and the Super Great Scary stories. And Amelia's favourites are the Anansi stories and the Super Great Scary stories. Their mum loves strawberries in winter. Ah, yes, that's one of my favourites too. And staying in California, let's head down now to San Diego to say hello to new owlets Emma, who is 9, and Olivia, who is 6. They listen to Super Great Kids stories every night. Olivia's favourite story is the Belgian tale about the princess and the sylph. And Emma's favourite is the Brazilian tale, Paca and Beetle. And a big hello to new owlet 6-year-old Olivia from Chicago, who says she loves all the stories, especially the adventure ones. And hello again to 5-year-old Shahar Iyari, which means dawn rainbow. Sorry I got your name wrong before, Shahar Iyari. And to her little sister Nina, who is nearly 2. They live in Saugerties in New York State. And their favourite stories are all of them, particularly the ones with songs in. Hurrah! And let's hop back across the pond now to Telford in England to say hello to owlet Miley, who is 7. Miley's favourite stories are all the Anansi ones. She listens every night for hours before she falls asleep. And she can't wait for her baby brother Louis, who's 8 months old, to be old enough to listen with her. That's it for the welcomes this week, and our Pick of the Week picture from Story Owl goes to Nora from Malaga, who sent us some amazing watercolour paintings. She's painted a bird's eye view of the story from the Marshall Islands, the canoe race, and 2 pictures of Stick Woman, one rolling down the hill and singing inside the pumpkin, and another walking along with her stick, a ticky-tacky tick, a ticky-tacky tick, with owls and squirrels watching from the trees. Tuup's going to tell that story at our show in London next week. Hurrah! Do send in your pictures. We like sharing them with other story lovers. If you'd like to see them, go to facebook.com/Super Great Kids Stories. And if you follow us on Instagram, check out our picture gallery at supergreatkids_art. And finally, a big thank you to all Super Great Owlets and their families who are supporting our podcast and making it possible for us to find new storytellers. If you'd like to support us on Patreon or on Apple Podcasts, we'll say hello to you on the show. You can hear our stories advert-free, and you'll have access to over 40 Owlet bonus stories and at least 30 Super Great Scary stories. Plus, you'll get access to our Super Great Kids Stories Express with short introductions, no adverts, purely story. Great for listening to stories back to back. Keep telling your stories and singing your songs. Thanks again to the storyteller this week, Tuupy Tuup Tuup. This podcast was produced at Wardour Studios in fabulous Fitzrovia, in London.
You probably think you know fairy tales. Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood. You probably think that they're cute and boring. But the real stories aren't cute and boring at all. The Grimm fairy tales were weird and sometimes gross and often scary. And in the podcast Grimm, Grimmer, Grimmest, you can listen along with a group of other kids as I tell them those tales. The episodes are sometimes grim, sometimes grimmer, and sometimes grimmest. But no matter how creepy it gets, we'll always have a great time guessing what'll happen next, cracking jokes, and discussing what these tales mean to us. You can listen to Grimm, Grimmer, Grimmest now, wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow the show so you don't miss new episodes.